Wallet.
And starting with Indian stories, worrying that rising consumer prices will threaten the Indian Central Bank's inflation target of 4% led the majority of Reserve Bank of India's Monetary Policy Committee to vote to keep rates steady. Well, that has happened last week, and according to minutes of meeting which have issued now, committee members also said that October 4 meeting, they expected that a slowdown in economic growth will be lowest in more than 3 years in April-June quarter. So on October 4th, RBI came up with its policy, but minutes of meeting have been released today. And it was being said that in June quarter could prove transitory, and it was prudent to wait for more evidence as far as RBI's committee is concerned. RBI's 6-member Monetary Policy Committee voted 5-1 to keep the repo rate unchanged at the around October 4 meeting after inflation in August surged to 3.36% from a year earlier, not far off from central bank's 4% target. However, data after meeting showed inflation held steady at 3.28% in September, in line with the downwardly revised number for August, although analysis said the expected repo rate to remain unchanged for now. And India is tightening quality controls for consumer and capital goods, especially from China, a move that follows calls to curb cheap imports from China amid diplomatic tensions between world's two most populous nations over their shared border. The new rules target toys, electronic goods, machinery, food processing, construction and chemicals, the sectors dominated by China so far, and these will be hit the most. These have come after greater scrutiny has happened in mainland China. China is looking to enter India's multi-billion-dollar power transmission and telecom business. And India is all set to discuss more issues linked to much publicized reform of goods and services tax in its next GST meeting that is going to take place on November 10 in northeastern state of Assam in its capital Guwahati. GST next meeting is likely to look into issues linked to construction which needs to be restructured. Issues also linked to infrastructure will be addressed. There is a 12% GST on sale of under construction units from July 1 onwards. A stamp duty rate is charged by states over and above GST for real estate. And country's top telecom firm Bharti Airtel is looking to phase out its 3G services in 2 years with an eye on cutting on cost. Telco is seeking to shift 3G users to 4G via Volta communication standard within the next few months. Now, according to experts, Volta standards help reduce costs for telcos and also offers better customer experience. As of now, Airtel offers Volta services only in Mumbai. Global telecom companies Verizon and Telenor are among the firms which consider doing away with their 3G networks. Now, one of the major difficulties that telcos will face is that more than 300 million Indians still use 2G, despite the availability of 3G and 4G services. This is because 2G tariffs are cheaper and compatible with cheaper devices and feature phones. And moving to global news, where US auto major Ford will recall its Explorer SUVs or sports utility vehicles over carbon monoxide poisoning concerns. Center for Auto Safety is urging Ford in US to pull more than 1.3 million Explorers off the road. Ford announced it is offering free inspections and repairs to reduce potential for exhaust to enter the vehicles. But the company insists its Explorers are safe and said the offer is for customers. So this is going to be a big jolt for Ford, which is going through a bad phase as far as US is concerned. In July, police in Austin, Texas parked more than 400 Explorers after nearly 24 officers were found to have high levels of carbon monoxide in their blood. Now, across the country, Ford has been repairing the Explorer police cruisers at no cost. But the company says issue is separate from complaints in civilian models, and due to modification, sale of a vehicle have been stopped as well. And economy was the main theme at twice-a-decade Communist Party Congress that had opened yesterday. Chinese President Xi Jinping said the country will deepen economic and financial reforms and further open its markets. So the agenda was economic reforms, and China will continue to open its economy. That's what was said. Country will deepen financial reforms, and market access will be relaxed for foreign investments. That another one decision that was taken today. The whole narrative was being awaited by the overall world, and world was awaiting what will come out of China as far as 19th China Party Congress is concerned. The main agenda was economic reforms. Also, China plans to strengthen and improve the expansion of state capital, and reform of state-owned enterprises will be deepened going forward. Globally competitive world-class firms will be cultivated. So the whole world is watching what is happening in China and what is the narrative and commentary of Chinese top brass. And China will also push ahead with market-oriented reforms of its foreign exchange rate as well as its financial system, and let the market play a decisive role in allocation of resources. Xi Jinping, the president of China, said at the opening of Congress that the government will clean up rules and practices that hinder a unified market and fair competition, support development of private firms, and stimulate vitality of all types of market entities, while pledging to further open China's services sector to foreign investors. However, while expressing support for market reform and private firms, China President Xi Jinping also called for stronger, bigger state firms. Xi's comments reiterated a long-standing pledge by party leaders to give a greater role to free market forces to improve efficiency and put the economy on a more sustainable growth path. But as Xi gears up for his second five-year term, foreign business executives and analysts increasingly believe market liberalization is seen as secondary to his state-centered approach to economic policy and his focus on stability. But other painful reforms that many economists say are needed have also moved slowly under Xi. They include overhauling China's bloated and debt-laden state sector, fixing fiscal system to tackle local government debt, and bringing in new property taxes to ward off housing bubbles. And China has scores of billionaires that have taken birth since the reforms took place more than 1.5 decades ago. But the richest man in China is Jack Ma. His net worth is $46.9 billion. He is founder and executive chairman of Alibaba Group. He is a global icon in business and entrepreneurship. Also, he is one of the world's most influential businessmen. And after Jack Ma comes another billionaire whose name is Ma Hutang. His net worth is $39.8 billion. He is founder and president and CEO of Tencent. Tencent controls China's biggest mobile messaging service, WeChat. And Ma is also deputy to the Shenzhen Municipal People's Congress. Ma also served in 12th National People's Congress, and he is the second richest man in China. His net worth is around $40 billion. And comes third is Wang Jialing. He is China's third richest man. His net worth is around $30 billion. He is founder of conglomerate Dalian Wanda Group that has main interest in real estate in China. So he's another Chinese billionaire who is among the top 5 Chinese billionaires, and their wealth has soared over the last few years since when the economic reforms have come in China. And Jianlin also owns 20% of Theatre Group. Another China's richest man is Wang Wai. His net worth is $22 billion. Wang Wai is a Chinese billionaire, businessman, chairman and founder of SF Express. SF Express is a Chinese delivery services company, and he is the owner of the company. His net worth is $22 billion. Another Chinese billionaire who has taken birth because of the economic reforms undertaken in China. Another Chinese billionaire is William Dang. His net worth is $16.9 billion, and he is founder and CEO of 163.com. And Ding also has investments in property sector, and he is one of the people who actually are revered as far as China's real estate is concerned. So China's richest men are there, and they are also keenly watching what is happening as far as China's Congress is concerned. And staying with China, China has made major breakthroughs in science and technology. Here is a look back at how the country moved forward in the field of technology and innovation over the last 5 years.
China has played a key role in revolutionizing the mobile industry. The country not only has the largest smartphone user base, it also houses a plethora of phone makers which are now a rising force in the mobile market. China becomes the country to have released the world's first quantum communication crypto cloud server, which is a landmark event in the fast computing arena. The world's fastest bullet train is nowhere but in China. It runs between Beijing and Shanghai at 350 kilometers per hour. China has also taken a global lead in clean energy. The country has beaten the United States and has emerged as a renewable energy powerhouse. China has come a long way in its ambitious space program. Not just this, the National Bureau of Statistics says that China's research and development expenditure in 2016 increased by 52.2% from that of 2012. Bureau Report, WION.
WION Wallet,